The road to the NBA just got insane. The 2025 NCAA Final Four is finally here, and let me tell you, this might be the most stacked tournament we've seen in years. Future NBA superstars are about to go head-to-head, legacies will be made, and draft stocks will either skyrocket or come crashing down. But here's the real question. Who's got that killer instinct? Who's ready to prove they belong on the biggest stage? And who's about to shock the entire basketball world? Insert high-energy highlight clips, insane dunks, game winners, crowd reactions. We're talking about jaw-dropping performances, last-minute buzzer beaters, and breakout stars that NBA scouts cannot ignore. So buckle up because we're about to break it all down. Let's go. This year's Final Four is nothing short of legendary. We've got four powerhouse programs, each with NBA-level talent, and let's be honest, this tournament is shaping up to be a bloodbath. Insert fast-paced highlight clips, huge dunks, clutch three-pointers, intense crowd reactions. Duke, the powerhouse with a future. Number 1 pick. First up, Duke. The Blue Devils are here for one reason only, to dominate. And leading the charge, the unstoppable Cooper Flagg. This guy isn't just playing basketball. He's controlling the entire court like a chessboard. Scouts are calling him the best two-way prospect since LeBron James. A 6'9" forward with a 7-foot wingspan, elite defensive instincts, and an offensive bag deeper than most NBA rookies. Flagg isn't just trying to win a championship, he's locking up that number 1 draft spot. Houston, the gritty defensive nightmare. But don't sleep on Houston. This team is built differently. They don't just play defense, they suffocate teams. Opposing guards, trapped. Big men, out-muscled. If there's one squad that can grind Duke down and make this a street fight, it's Houston. And watch out for their floor general, insert star player, who's been putting up elite numbers in March Madness. Auburn, the high-flying running gun squad. And then there's Auburn. If you love fast-break basketball, if you love players who can jump out of the gym, Auburn is your team. They play at a ridiculous pace, and with sharp shooters like insert player name, they can drop 15 points on you before you even realize what happened. But the question is, can they handle a half-court, grinded-out battle? Because if the pace slows down, their game plan could fall apart. Florida, the dark horse with a chip on their shoulder. Finally, we've got Florida, the team nobody saw coming, but the one nobody wants to face. They're the ultimate underdog, and that's exactly why they're dangerous. They've already taken out top seeds, and if there's one thing we've learned from past tournaments, it's this. Never underestimate a team with momentum. Their offense is balanced, their defense is underrated, and they play with a swagger that says, why not us? The big question, who's ready for the spotlight? Each of these teams has at least one NBA-bound player. But here's the real question. Who's built for the moment? Who's ready to step up when the lights are brightest? And who's about to have their draft stock explode after this tournament? Buckle up, because this is about to get wild. Let's start with the name everyone is talking about, Cooper Flagg. At 6 feet 9 inches with a ridiculous 7-foot wingspan, this guy's an absolute nightmare for opponents. But here's the real question. Is he just another elite prospect, or are we witnessing the rise of the next NBA superstar? Insert highlight reel. Flagg's blocks, smooth jumpers, high-flying dunks. The hype is real, but does he deserve it? Scouts are calling Flagg the most complete two-way player in years. And when you watch him play, you get why. He's not just good, he's scary good. The kid's got the size of a power forward, the footwork of a guard, and the defensive instincts of a prime Scottie Pippen. Oh, and let's not forget, he's only 18 years old. Numbers don't lie. The best in college basketball? Show stat comparison graphics, Flagg versus past elite prospects like Jason Tatum, Zion Williamson, or Anthony Davis. Let's talk numbers, because Flagg's stat line is something out of a video game. 22 points per game, and he's not just scoring, he's dominating all 3 levels. 10 rebounds per game, he's cleaning the glass like a veteran big man. 4 blocks per game, and these aren't just soft swats. These are momentum-changing, soul-snatching rejections. NBA comparisons. Who does he really play like? Now, people are throwing out some crazy comparisons. We're talking Jason Tatum's shot creation, Andrei Kirilenko's defensive presence, and even flashes of LeBron's court vision. But is that fair? Or is the hype getting out of control? The million-dollar question, is he the true number one pick? Here's where things get interesting. Flag is the projected number, one overall pick, but is he really the best player in this draft? What if another prospect outshines him under the bright lights of the Final Four? We've seen it happen before. One breakout game, and suddenly the draft board gets flipped upside down. So the big question, is Cooper Flag the real deal, or is someone else about to steal his crown? Let's dive deeper into the competition. But wait, he's not the only star in this tournament. While Cooper Flag might be stealing headlines, there are some absolute game changers ready to make their own statement on the biggest stage of college basketball. And trust me, NBA scouts are watching these guys just as closely. Insert highlight clips. Monstrous dunks, clutch shots, defensive stops. Kaman Maluak, Duke center. The 7-2 defensive wall. Let's talk about a guy who could change the entire outcome of this tournament. Kaman Maluak. At 7'2" with an insane wingspan, this dude doesn't just protect the rim, he erases shots like they never even existed. He's got elite shot-blocking instincts, runs the floor like a gazelle, and plays with a raw physicality that screams NBA ready. Show stat line, 14 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, 3.5 blocks per game. Some scouts are calling him a mix of Rudy Gobert and a young Giannis. And here's the scary part. He's still developing his offensive game. If he puts it all together, we're looking at a potential top 3 NBA draft pick. Walter Clayton Jr., Florida guard, the sniper with ice in his veins. Next up, Florida's deadliest weapon, Walter Clayton Jr. This guy isn't just a scorer, he's a straight-up assassin. He's got deep range, elite shot creation, and that cold-blooded clutch gene that separates the greats from the legends. If you're looking for a guy who could single-handedly flip a game on its head, it's Clayton Jr. Show graphic, 19 PPG, 42% from 3 PT, 85% FT. And let's talk about pressure. In crunch time, this guy doesn't miss. He's already had multiple game winners this season, and if the Final Four comes down to one shot, bet your money on Walter Clayton Jr. being the one to take it. Johnny Broome, Auburn, forward, the walking double-double machine. And then we've got a guy built for the NBA grind. Johnny Broome. This dude is an absolute problem in the paint. At 6'10" and 245 pounds, he's got the body to bang with the best. But what really makes him special? His versatility. Show stat line, 17 PPG, 10 RPG, 2 BPG. Broome is a relentless rebounder, a sneaky good passer, and a defensive enforcer who can switch onto guards when needed. His physicality reminds scouts of a young Draymond Green, but with a much more polished scoring touch. The NBA loves guys like this. Players who can do a little bit of everything and don't shy away from the dirty work. The Final Four X Factor, who will take over? So here's the big question. Who's about to steal the show? Will it be the towering force of Kaman Maluak, the cold-blooded sniper in Walter Clayton Jr., or the NBA-ready versatility of Johnny Broome? One thing's for sure, someone is about to put the basketball world on notice, and you do not want to miss it. Now let's break down the matchups. We're talking about 2 epic battles that could decide the future of college basketball. Who will rise to the occasion? And who's about to see their championship dreams crushed? Let's dive in. Duke versus Houston, the ultimate defensive war. First up, we've got Duke versus Houston, a battle that's less about offense and more about who can impose their will on defense. And let's be real, this is where we find out what Cooper Flag is really made of. Insert highlight clips. Houston's full court pressure, Flag breaking double teams, defensive lockdowns. The key battle, Flag versus Houston's full court press. Houston's defense is no joke. They play with insane intensity, full court pressure, and hands-in-your-face physicality that wears teams down. They don't just want to stop you, they want to break you mentally. The question is, can Flag handle the heat? He's been dominant all season, but he hasn't faced a defense like this. If he starts slow and gets rattled, this could get ugly fast. X factor, Houston's defensive guards. Keep an eye on Houston's backcourt. These guys are dogs, relentless, scrappy, and willing to sacrifice their bodies for every loose ball. If they force turnovers early, Duke could be in serious trouble. Final prediction. This game is going to be a war. If Flag plays like the #1 pick, Duke wins. If Houston forces him into bad decisions and controls the tempo, we might be looking at a major upset. Auburn versus Florida, the Speed Demon Showdown. If Duke versus Houston is a slugfest, Auburn versus Florida is a high-speed track meet. We're talking about two teams that love to push the pace, fire up threes, and turn every game into a highlight reel. So the real question is, which backcourt is built for the moment? Insert fast break highlight clips. Auburn's dunks, Florida's deep threes, coast-to-coast plays. The key battle, transition offense versus transition defense. Auburn is electric in transition. Give them an inch and they'll put up 10 points before you can blink. But here's the problem. Florida can match that energy, and they've got the shooters to make Auburn pay from deep. If Florida starts hitting transition threes, Auburn might find itself trying to keep up instead of control the game. X factor, Walter Clayton Jr.'s hot hand. One player who could decide this game, Walter Clayton Jr. The Florida sharpshooter has been on an absolute tear, and if he catches fire early, Auburn's defense might have to rethink their entire game plan. Can they chase him off the three-point line, or will he torch them from deep? Final prediction, this one is a toss-up. If it turns into a shootout, Florida has the edge with their perimeter firepower. But if Auburn can control the paint and slow things down when needed, they'll punch their ticket to the championship. Buckle up. This one's going to be insane. Hot take, is this the year an underdog shocks the world? Every year, March Madness delivers one moment that shakes the basketball world to its core. Could this be the year we see an underdog steal the spotlight? Or will Duke, the powerhouse program with NBA talent, reestablish its dominance and reclaim its throne? Show historic upset clips, past Cinderella stories, buzzer beaters, crowd eruptions. Bold prediction, a favorite falls. Mark my words, at least one of these top teams is getting knocked out. Who will it be? Let me know your predictions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe because we're about to witness history. Scouts are absolutely raving about this year's draft class. And get this, an NBA executive just dropped a bombshell comparison saying, Cooper Flag has the most complete game since Luka Doncic. High praise, but is it legit? Show side-by-side clips. Luka's elite playmaking, Flag's shot creation, both making tough buckets. Mock draft predictions, who's going no? One question mark. All right, let's talk about what everyone wants to know. The 2025 NBA draft. Who's locking up that number? One pick? Who's rising? And could we see a late-season shocker shake up the top spots? Show graphic, mock draft predictions chart. #1 pick, Cooper Flag. Flag is the clear frontrunner. He's a 6', 9" two-way machine, can score from anywhere, and is an elite defender. But the biggest reason NBA teams love him, he's built for the modern game. Versatile, high IQ, and already playing like a pro. Unless something wild happens, it's hard to see anyone passing him up. But here's a question. Does Flag have a weakness? If Houston's defense shuts him down in the Final Four, will teams start questioning his ability to handle NBA-level physicality? Blast off number 2. Khaman Maluach, the 7', 2" game changer. Right behind him, Khaman Maluach. And listen, when you're 7 feet 2 inches, move like a wing, and protect the rim like prime Rudy Gobert, scouts are going to take notice. The thing with Maluach, his ceiling is insane. If his offensive game keeps developing, we could be looking at a future Defensive Player of the Year, or even more. The big debate, is Maluach the safer pick? With size like his, there's almost no chance he's not an impact player in the league. The question is, how dominant can he become? Dark horse rising? A surprise contender? But let's not forget, March Madness makes stars overnight. Every year there's a player who shows up big under the bright lights and shoots up the draft board. So, who could it be this year? Walter Clayton Jr., the clutch scorer? If Clayton Jr. drops a 30-piece in the Final Four and hits another game winner, teams looking for a high-level shot creator might push him into the lottery. Johnny Broome, the NBA-ready workhorse? Broome has the physicality and rebounding dominance NBA teams love. If he dominates the glass in the Final Four, don't be shocked if teams start seeing shades of a young Julius Randle in him. Final thought, could Flagg lose the #1 spot? So here's the big question, is the #1 pick locked in? Or could Maluak, or maybe even a rising star, make a last-minute push? History tells us nothing is guaranteed, especially when the stakes are this high. Show past draft surprises, Zion over Ja, Anthony Bennett shocker, Luka falling to #3. Bold take, this Final Four will decide everything. Flagg might be leading now, but all it takes is one historic performance for someone else to snatch the crown. Who's going to rise? Who's going to fold? Drop your predictions in the comments, and let's get ready for a crazy finish to the season. All right, we've broken it all down. The stars, the matchups, the draft predictions. But now it's your turn. What do you think? Is Cooper Flagg the real deal, or will someone else steal the spotlight in the Final Four? Will Khaman Maluak prove he's the safest #1 pick? Or is there a dark horse ready to shake up the draft? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Who's making the biggest statement in the Final Four? Who's going #1? One in the draft? And let's hear some bold takes, because you already know this tournament is about to give us some crazy surprises. And don't forget, if you love college hoops, NBA prospects, and everything in between, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We've got exclusive breakdowns, draft rankings, and deep dives into the game's next superstars. So stick around, because this season is just getting started. Final thought, the road to the NBA starts now, and the next generation of basketball greatness is unfolding right before our eyes. And with epic highlight clips, clutch plays, game winners, and crowd reactions. And that's a wrap for today's breakdown. But trust me, this is just the beginning. March Madness is heating up, and the NBA draft race is getting crazier by the day. Don't miss out. We're bringing you all the biggest moments, hottest takes, and in-depth analysis on the stars of tomorrow. So if you love basketball as much as we do, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe so you never miss an update. What's your take? Who's your pick to dominate the Final Four? Which player has impressed you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're reading everything, and the best takes might even get a shout out in our next video. See you in the next one. That's it for today, but we'll be back soon with more exclusive content. Until then, keep watching, keep debating, and get ready for more madness on the road to the NBA. And with fast-cut highlights, dunks, clutch shots, crowd reactions, and a final hype shot of the tournament logo.